Tremendously unapologetic. All right, I got the moon, I believe, right behind me right here. Okay, yeah. So this is my background. You see the moon, it's pretty much right here. It's going to be 2 degrees. Sun is 2 degrees with it, and this represents the Sabian symbol of you hitting that thumbs up and that likes button early. Remember that our membership is meeting this Sunday, so we want to see you in here for that new moon live that we're talking about now. 2 degrees is a Sabian symbol represented by the mumps, okay, not chicken pox, the mumps. And it's like, okay, what are the mumps? They affect the throat in particular, right? It's a direct attack on the throat, and the throat is the throat chakra. So understand that this Sabian symbol is represented by an epidemic, literally an epidemic of the monks. And so shamanically speaking, this talks about your suppressed energy. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up and that likes button. This talks about your pride and not having a healthy dose of pride. Understanding that pride has never been innately bad. Pride is actually a very powerful thing that we all need. Okay, now the thing about pride is our voice and our emotions requires a certain amount of healing so that we can literally break out and allow ourselves to be seen, which is what this new moon wants. Thank you for that thumbs up. This new moon in Leo wants us to be seen. Okay, a lot of people don't even realize that they have difficulty being seen. I myself am one of them. I've had to come to terms with this at some point in time. And you may think that's really counterintuitive because I'm a YouTuber. Like, I'm always doing things publicly, telling you to join my membership, which we meet again this Sunday, telling you to check out this 5-week thing. The early bird exists for September 20th. The early bird is out. I think it's gonna go to about August 20th. But it's about healing, the performance traumas, allowing ourselves to allowing it. What's up Elijah? What's up Divine Rights? Good to see y'all in here. I appreciate y'all. And so it's allowing ourselves to be seen in a way that it feels healed. And so these mumps, they literally inflame on the throat. And I thought it was really ironic because right before I started doing this live on this new moon in Leo, 224 on screen, 44, I started getting little bumps on the side of my neck right here, off to the left. And I was like, yo, what's going on? And I think I actually just put a little bit too much salt in my last meal. And salt is courage. It literally gives you courage, but it's a fiery / fire water, primarily fire herb or mineral, whatever you want to call it. And so the thing is, it's saying like, what are you ready to erupt on this new moon in Leo? Ask for an expression. Okay, there's an expression that's erupting, especially because the moon is opposite Pluto. So there's this tremendous emotional depth and intimacy when it comes to our magic. Okay, when it comes to our psychic abilities, when it comes to embracing the truth of everything that we feel has been held back, has been suppressed as for an energy. So we have to understand that the moon in Leo is also having the sun in Leo. Anytime we have a new moon in Leo or a new moon in any sign, the sun is right next to it. So this is the masculine and the feminine coming true. And this is what makes this no ordinary new moon, because it's square in the eye of the Plutonic, okay, underworld. Thank you. You got it, Elijah, from Ayurveda class, okay? Ayurveda, Rajasic. Rajasic is just going out there, getting your desires, right? This morning, I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to go. I had too much salt in my meal. I literally kind of accidentally spilled the salt and too much went in. And I threw a little extra rice and some tortillas, and it made it okay. But thank you for hitting that thumbs up and that likes button. I appreciate you. It balanced it out. But it got me way more motivated than I thought I was going to be on this Venus day. So when we talk about the retrograde in Pluto, Pluto retrograde is exposing where we have outsourced our power to the systems that be, the systems that break us down and make us feel less than, and make us feel like we need or want to hide. Leo was like, yo, show yourself. Stop suppressing that light. Stop suppressing your radiance, okay? Your throat chakra is like, I need to create something. I'm sick of talking about it without manifesting, without doing it. There's a problem for a lot of people. So Leo says, come back to the fire of your heart, okay? Come back to your own personal radiance. Come back to hitting that thumbs up and that likes button if you're watching this. Throw some hearts up on the video, man. Get this up out here. You see, you have the time and the energy to put the chart up on screen. We're going to talk about this Leo that going straight across opposite to the Pluto up top. Okay, we're also going to talk about that Leo right there that's trining this Aries Saturn, which is going to really help us structure what needs to happen. So as a shaman, I see Pluto as the serpent in this instance shedding its skin from invisibility, being so far away from the sun, being so far away from the light, so far away from our radiance. All right, you gotta sometimes get up in the screen and say, "Give me a thumbs up, baby. Throw that love." All right, stop being shy. Get more all the love. I deserve all the love. I don't even want it. I deserve it. I'm demanding it. Give it to me. And so sometimes you got to be willing to do that and realize that it's not always a prideful response. That, you know, and we also got to realize on this new moon in Leo, it's asking us to manifest through this portal a new reality where we're not really judging anymore, because we understand that when we judge another person, we're actually holding ourselves back. Why? Because when I judge you for having money, or I judge you for being sexy, I'm essentially outsourcing my own sexiness, outsourcing my own wealth, understanding. And with the universe, I'm creating a co-creative contract where it's like, I'm telling the universe, I'm not sexy. I'm telling the universe by my judgment of you, thinking you look cute, and I say, and I don't look cute. So, you know, understand, when you judge yourself, you're not hurting the other person at all. You're actually tremendously hurting and harming yourself. And this is something really deep that hits really hard to the core to somebody like Aquarius, who has these hobbies that it's sick of hiding. It's like it does all these things in private, you know, that it wants to be seen, but it remains in the shadow. So Leo says, come back to the fire of your own heart. You know, again, like I said, as a shaman, I see it's the shedding of the skin, understanding that right now, you, I, me, we're not being punished. Okay, sometimes Aquarian energy with that Saturnian aspect likes to be so isolated that it's punishing itself, and it likes to believe that it's being punished by the world, it's being punished by humanity, society, okay, by its network, by its group. But a lot of time it's punishing itself. So we have to understand that right now you're not being punished, but what you are with Pluto and Aquarius in retrograde, you're being stripped. Okay, you're being asked to reclaim your soul power. And so I ask you to come do that with us and learn through some psychic measures. We're doing the 12 gates of psychic power. This Sunday our members are meeting, and I'm actually looking to take on 3 new members by this time next month. I'm putting that out there in the universe. I'm saying, you know what, I don't want to be shy about this. This is what I love. I'll focus on the practice. I'll focus on doing the do. We're not learning anything. We're doing the magic. And this is something you always got to remember about, you know, the way my Jupiter in Leo. Because right now, this new moon is literally 1 degree away from my Jupiter in Leo. This new moon is like 3 degrees away from my Saturn in Aquarius. So you can understand, like, it's really challenging me to say, you know what, P, you got to go out there and speak and publish. Because again, my Leo is 9th house, which is literally doing what I'm doing right now. So join us this Sunday to retrieve, okay, these pieces of yourself, you know, and we're going to go deep. Now, let's talk about this Leo, all right, the sun and the moon in Leo, as you hit the thumbs up and the likes button, over to this Saturn in Aries. Saturn has officially went retrograde. So it has us under review. Some of this energy of feeling like we're getting punished by being wild. You know, I talked to an old mentor today, Saturn mentor, and I told him thank you, because when I was in college, you know what? I was in this college program, and I didn't even really make it into college. I had to take an extra program to get into college. And when I was in this program, you know, I started a food fight. And honestly, it was like wild boy dream come true. My whole life, I wanted to have a food fight, right? I literally wanted to have food for my whole life. And I did it in college, you know. But in the admission of college, so something like college, higher learning, Jupiter. Leo, having fun. And so this Saturn retrograde is like, you know, having us turn back in time when somebody else thought you were too wild and judged you. When I talked to my mentor from way back, like, I don't know, 11, 13 years ago, I was like, you know what, thank you, because you really helped me. You know, you helped me. I was just going through a rough time. Like, I was acting out. I had my insecurities. I was struggling, quite frankly. Like, you know, it was the first time I felt liberated, you know, being able to live on the dorms and X, Y, and Z, and like, I was acting out. Let's just be real. But at the same time, I had a lot of fun. And you know what? Everybody else around me had fun, where they're not even really getting in trouble. I'm just the one getting in trouble. I started the food fight, but it was fun. And to hear my mentor say today, when I tell him happy birthday and congratulations, to hear him today say, you know, yeah, you wasn't bad. You were just, you know, a little too wild. And it's like, what does it mean to be too wild? Why I got to be too wild? And I heard him say it. And I ain't got no disrespect. I ain't mad about it. But when I heard him say it, I realized, dang, you know, whether I realized it or not, back then he was judging me as somebody too wild. And so I'm happy that I actually allowed myself to express that. When I see Saturn in retrograde, trying in this Leo new moon, it's having us remember. The moon is very nostalgic. It's having us remember these times where we were too wild, we had too much fun. Leo represents fun. Leo, like having a food fight was literally fun. The moon is nourishment. What is that? Food. Nourishment. And Leo, fun. Do the things that nourish you. Allow yourself to have fun, and stop allowing people to judge you. Stop allowing, your pride to be more worried about what other people are thinking about you rather than just enjoying and embracing yourself. Aquarius Sun, I was part of the catalyst in a food fight in sixth grade. Hey, I told you we got in trouble though. Yeah, you know what though? I think I never fully got in trouble because I think that I got involved with so many people where I knew I did it. Everybody knew I started it, but at the end of the day, no one spoke up, and I'm really proud of that because that's Pluto Aquarius. So shout out to all y'all that didn't speak up and tell on me and say, Pernell did it, because they could have said that. I could have been the sole person in trouble. So I think we got in trouble as a group. I think our whole group got in trouble. And so when you get in trouble as a group versus one person, guess what? The weight's not that heavy, right? It's like when you're in a relationship. Leo represents romance. So this new moon, manifesting a portal of romance. Being in a romance with somebody, you feel like you're your Bonnie and Clyde, where it's like, you know what? You ain't never going to tell on me. I'm never going to jail alone. I'm never going to be in prison. We're going to ride or die this thing. And I feel like that happened with this food fight. So shout out to you, to the mamaist, okay, for the food fight gang. Leo in the ninth, what up? Love you already. Okay, I'll shoot. I got Jupiter and Leo, Saturn away too. Gang. All right. So this Leo new moon, when you talk about Saturn retrograde in Aries, we're talking about manifesting a structure, but it's not doing it with just hope. Okay, Aries is not the sign that hopes for things. Okay, this is not Leo. No, I'm not Leo. This is not Sagittarius. Okay, we're not hoping. It's not Cancer. Cancer likes to hope for things to happen sometimes, but keep that hope private. Okay, we have to manifest it with structure, and the structure equates to action. So when I talk about we're doing our membership meeting this Sunday, guess what? Before I got on this live, I finished 2 weeks. No, I finished one class that's coming this Sunday. The class is coming 2 weeks after that, and the class is coming another 4 weeks later. And so, I structured it. I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I'm bringing in 3 new members by this time, and I'm making a universe. I'm calling in 3 new members, people who want to stay accountable with their spiritual practices and learn about psychic abilities and practice psychic abilities. Not just to meditate, but to evoke spirits, to work through mediumship, to work through, future sensing. Take on these. I'm calling you 3 by this time, August 18th, and y'all gonna be there, and I know it because that's what Leo the moon wants us to do. Thank you for hitting a thumbs up and a likes button. And so Saturn trine, this is a very positive aspect, trining the sun and trining the moon. Think of this as a sacred bonfire. This is not a wildfire. This is a sacred bonfire. This brings the grounded energy to fire because Saturn in Aries really is this warrior elder, where the scars of our past, the scars where our pride was more afraid and ashamed of what other people would think, so we didn't have fun. We didn't just wild out and do what we wanted to do and let people 15 years later judge us. But then in reality realize, I was judging, but I'm really projecting the fact that I wish I did that. I wish I was a badass in my own way, which I wasn't trying to be bad. I was trying to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. That's what it is. And so it's like, Saturn and Aries is really about this sacred wisdom. Okay, thank you for those hearts. I see you, baby. Sacred wisdom, bringing that grounded fire, sacred bonfire, not wildfire. And so the thing is, we're made to take on right now a sacred responsibility. And it's funny, I say this as I have all these corporate people walking by me, and it's really funny because they're also wearing like bubble vests and jackets. And guess what? I got one too. But I'm doing my own sacred responsibility on a live with y'all. We ain't working and slaving for nobody else. We're gonna do this for ourselves. No matter how hard it gets, baby, we're gonna do it. No matter how entrepreneurship, it ain't easy. Don't ever let nobody let you believe that it ain't easy to be an entrepreneur. But you know what? We got to take the time with Mars and Virgo, which we see right here. Mars and Virgo over the South Node during this new moon in Leo. This is about taking the time to be grateful. The real cure and medicine to Virgo is gratitude through the memories, okay? All right, I'm having fun today. So the thing is, you got to journal these gratitudes. You got to journal these desires. You got to journal these memories and bring the gratitude to them. Okay, because it's really going to be the game changer to this new moon in Leo. So if you've been spinning your wheels trying to manifest right now without alignment, this is the time. This is the alignment. This is your wake up call. Okay. Shout out to you, my mist. I hope I'm saying this properly. Mama is. It's the whole group that got in the middle of the frame. Mama Mist. Okay, Mama Mist. I see it now. Mama Mist, like mother of mystery. Ooh. Shout out to you, G. I like that. Slurp, slurp. Got me drooling over here. I like that. Mama Mist, like Mama Mystery. Yeah. So when we talk about the manifestation, here's these 3 steps that I have to give you from the shamanic guidance on this new moon in Leo. Opposite Pluto, trining Saturn. Remember, like I said, the Sabian symbol is 2 degrees of Leo. You can check out my resource. It's $19 on the website. For members, it's only $4. If you're a member, you go get that. It's $4. Somebody actually just got it. Shout out to you. And you'll get spells, rituals, invocations, meditations, medications. That is the medicine, baby. We delivering the medicine. Go check out that resource. It's on the website. It's $19. You'll get all the degrees related to the major arcana and the tarots. This is 2 degrees, so I'm telling you the Sabian symbol, but I didn't go through Sabian symbols on this. I went through my own intuition and mind, and I signed a tarot card, the major arcana of everyone. It took me like 2 years and a half to finish this, and I'm only giving it out for $19. You'd be crazy not to get that. Okay, listen. So the power animal, for this, what do I have written down here? Is it the lion? Is it the peacock? Is it the coyote? Okay. The power animal reflection, I could tell you this first, is to stand in stillness. What's your IG? Type in my name, Pernell Bobby, and you should see it pop up. It should say the Ayurveda Shaman. I think it's the Ayurveda Shaman, Pernell Bobby. But I don't use it very well. I'm not the best at IG. I'm better on YouTube, for being honest. But you can message me that way. All right, if you want to get in contact personally, it's easier to message that way. So the animal medicine is about standing in stillness, is about breathing deeply. You know, my shamanic mentorships today, I told them this morning, I gave them honestly, 15 bullet notes on spells and real life personal stories. And one of the things I said is you got to make time for boredom. How you regulate your nervous system. So this new moon in Leo has this Virgo energy very loud, which is squaring, right? Gemini, the nervous system, the lungs. Okay, the nervous system sits in the lungs, and it's where we become very resistant. Our resistance sits in the lungs. Our attachment to stories that we tell ourselves, the self-concept that we have of ourselves, a lot about Leo new moon, is right here in this Gemini and Venus, okay? At the 22 degrees of homicide, where you literally kill yourself by just thinking too much, quite frankly, just thinking about too many random things without enough structure. And the structure is the squaring energy going to the South Node in Virgo, as well as to the Mars, the things that we're doing, right? And the ways we're taking care of our health. And I said, look, you want to take care of your health, your mental, your social, your financial wellness right now, because Virgo represents debts that we're going to be experiencing, karmically speaking. It's going to be debts with our finances. Thank you for the thumbs up and the likes button. Debts with our finances, debts with our with the relationships, debts that we have with enemies, okay, from the past that are rising. Some of the times those enemies are just going to be our thoughts. They're not going to come back in the form of a physical human being, although it can easily. But a lot of times he's going to come back in the way of negative thought patterns and behaviors that we keep repeating. So when I get a little bit deeper, the spirit animal that's walking beside us is asking us to sit in stillness, and not just stillness, but be bored. When you allow yourself to be bored, you actually allow yourself to reset your nervous system. If you can't just sit in silence like this morning, and I'm not telling you something that I'm not doing. This morning I woke up, I drank some hot water, I took a wee, and then I just sat there at the edge of my bed. I didn't play with my hair. I didn't fiddle my toes. I did this after my breath work. I did do breath work first, but then I didn't even try to actively do breathing. I just sat there and allowed myself to sit, and I stared at nothing. To be honest, I can't even tell you what I did, but I know that I allowed myself to do nothing, and I did it with intention. This sets our nervous system up to be calm, patient with ourselves, and loving, okay? So let's go to the next step. I think my phone's gonna die, so I might have to wrap this up. The spirit animal was encouraging, is teaching us courage right now and expression. And it's going through the 3 animals of the peacock, which is very Leo-esque, the coyote, which likes to joke and laugh and pretend that it's not hurting when it is, okay? So don't pretend that, you're not ready to erupt with this throat chakra and the 2nd degree that I told you about. Go ahead and get my resource on my website, $4 for members, $4, bro. It costs you more to get a hot dog, or $19, which is probably a date at Chili's. I don't even know. I haven't been chilling so long. Can you still get a meal for $2? They had like the 2 for $20 or something like that. Now, elemental breathwork. My second shamanic manifestation is elemental breathwork. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling, which is air. Okay, Pluto and Aquarius. Exhaling through the lion's breath. Okay, so the lion, right? You gotta let your tongue out. That's the fire. Yeah, the breath hot. Our breath hot. Felt that heat, baby. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up and the light spot. And then while you're doing this, okay, even if just in your mind, Gemini, Virgo, you see on here on the chart, repeat, I'm allowed to take up space. So when you're inhaling through the nose, I am allowed to take up space. In your mind, when you're exhaling, I'm allowed to take up space. And make sure you smile when you do this. One of the things I see with people when they're doing breath work, you need to smile. Stop being such a hard poo-tang, okay? Smile. When you allow yourself to smile, when you're meditating, when you're breathing, it confirms through your body that you believe it's okay, okay? So hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Now, these are the shamanic tools that we're going to be using in this live on Sunday. We're actually I have different meditations. We're doing some fire candle magic. I just finished the presentation. What else are we doing? We're going to be practicing the psychic ability of future sensing. So through, we did this at our retreat actually as well. Focusing on telekinetic abilities, reading minds. All this stuff is real, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm here to teach it. Okay, so join if this moves you this Sunday at our membership, just now before the circle closes, which it never really closes because I've been doing this for 3 years. I've had this membership, but go ahead and join. So other than that, the third I have for a shamanic manifestation, you have step 1 was reflection with the power animal, lion, coyote, peacock. The lion, by the way, is the master teacher. Okay, the lion is one of the character who, you know, everybody who doesn't understand the lion is often intimidated by the lion's power. But when they get really close, they realize the lion doesn't eat more than it needs to feed on. And the lion can be friends with the gazelle. 2222 on screen, as I said that. So only the weak-minded, the weak-hearted, the fake, the judgy, the critical beings who, you know, are afraid of what other people think judges the lion. Like I was walking around today, and I more than most days, honestly, this happens at least a few times a day. I was just walking and people gave me the stankest face, like super stank. And I was like, And I just kept walking. And what I put the focus on was, you know, yesterday or 2 days ago and then today, it was the older women, like, I don't know, 55 years old or so, walking by me, and they smiled and they had this bright, radiant aura, and they were just so happy to just see me existing. And I was like, you know, shout out to you, you know. I got 15, more like 7. I got 7 people looking at me with a stanky face. But I remember that lady above all the 7 of those negative Nancy's. That lady, her smile, and it was like the 2 ladies, about the same age, 2 different ladies, 2 different days. And that's what you put the focus on. So the third and the final, and that's the Leo, the lion. People fear the lion for all the wrong reasons, but the ones who know the lion's true worth, they look to work with the lion, learn from the lion, okay? Share and be inspired with the lion. So live inspired. And remember, I am allowed to take up space. So if you're in the chat, I want you to say that I'm allowed to take up space. Now, last and final, we have the Leo altar ritual. This is about lighting a gold candle, potentially an orange candle, yellow at best, okay, if you don't have either or. And, you know, place a mirror in front of your altar. Look into your own eyes, aka the mirror, and go ahead and declare it. Say, I am not afraid to be seen. I am not afraid to be powerful. I'm looking in the mirror. I am not afraid to be seen. I am not afraid to be powerful. Girls just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. So when I look at the closing message, this little new moon is not about being flashy. Okay, that's not the case right here. All right, but it is about being authentically powerful. This is one of the key things. The Pluto of shadow, the shadow of Pluto in Aquarius, which is in retrograde. I told y'all in an earlier video, go check out my all signs for Pluto retrograde. I talked about how there's going to be storms. And I said when Leo season comes, the storms are going to get buck the F wild, which is very soon. Okay, we're like 24 degrees, 25 degrees, Cancer, Sun in Cancer. Wait, yeah. So by the time this new moon, we just, right, what is it, 24? We moving into Leo. And so this is the beginning degrees of Pluto. Pluto is right around 1 degree, 2 degrees. And so it's about to get real ugly, okay, when those opposites come. I am allowed to take a space. Absolutely. Thank you for shouting that out loud. I appreciate you. Thank you for hitting those thumbs up. It's harsh button. Go ahead and say that. What's 222 times 222? 222222222222222. I'm mad silly today. I didn't have my meds. I didn't have my medicine. I'm just kidding. I did have my medicine. I did my breath work this morning. That was my medicine. I did have my medicine. I had my tea this morning. That was my medicine. I took a walk into the nature. I was staring at trees. That was my medicine. I did have my medicine. That's why I'm acting off the meds, because I had my medicine. I don't have the meds already. I'm off the meds, baby. All right, here we go. And so, 5% battery. We're about to die. Heard that. So go ahead and confirm it. I am allowed to take a space. I want you to also say this down in the chat as well. You know, what was the message? That I'm not afraid to be seen. Go ahead and claim with the universe. I'm not afraid to be powerful. The new moon in Leo wants you to literally say, look, in order to manifest it, you got to speak it out loud. Okay, if you don't, you're going to literally have rashes on your throat. That's me telling you the truth. Okay, so say that in the chat, that you're not afraid to be seen and not afraid to be powerful. I would type it, but it's too much on the phone to be getting too crazy. So Pluto says, go ahead and stay small and stay safe. That's what Pluto and Aquarius is saying. Stay small, stay safe. See how long that works for you. Go ahead and live a life unfulfilled. Go ahead and die on your deathbed and just regret everything because you didn't have that food fight when you wanted to. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't die like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Don't go out like that. Gotta go out with a bang, baby. Go out with a bang. All right, here we go. So, it's funny. I got hella people around me. They probably like, what's up with it? Actually, matter of fact, they're looking at me like, damn, I want to be his friend. And that's what happens when you allow yourself to be yourself. And people are like, I just want to be his friend. I'm going to go talk to them right after this. Okay, maybe. Okay, but Leo is saying, go ahead and become the sun, okay? Become the sun. Shine anyways. Forget what Pluto and Aquarius are saying as a part of that underworld, part of those shadows, okay? Go ahead and stop being willing to play small and to play safe. And so if you are ready to do that sacred work in the community, the Shaman's Roundtable is meeting this Sunday. Again, we're doing Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. We're going to do 2 Aries. We're going to do 1 Leo. We're going to do 1 Sagittarius on this class. In the follow-up class, we're going to do 2 Leos and 2 Sagittarius and 1 Aries. And that's going to cover all the fire, and we're going to move on to water. These are going to be activations that we're focusing on. So again, like I said, you're going to get your learning material ahead of time. It's just in PDF. It's there. You're going to do the work, the activations. You're going to practice shamanism, practice magic, be the bruja, be the witch, be the oracle, and practice the skills. Because it's enough talk. I'm sick of talking. I don't like talking. I like doing. And so we gather again this Saturday, this Sunday, 10 a.m. Mexico time. I think that's like 12 o'clock New York City. Which means 9 o'clock California. And all my people in Europe, sorry, I don't have the capacity to do the math right now in my head for European time. But if you're ready to do that sacred work in the membership, Shaman's Roundtable is meeting this Sunday. We gather, and I want you there, okay? The link is in the description. That might not be true yet, but I think it should be. Somebody let me know. And that said, we'll see you all soon. Bro, am I just 7? And I know my 90s. Yeah, I get it. What up, Kiki Law? What up, Michaela? What up, y'all? Good to see y'all up in here. So this is the message. I'm gonna close this before my phone dies because it's about to. I love y'all. Thank you for a shout out to our members. I see Divine Rights, one of our members in here. I appreciate y'all for hitting the thumbs up and the likes button and share this video with somebody if you know they resonate and they need to hear this message and get this medicine. I love you. I appreciate you. Ciao.